long as he doesn't put a fast one in here, just drops it in, the cue ball's going to come back roughly where it is now.
Missed it. He's missed it. Oh, the pressure, the agony. It's there to be taken. Steve Saxon somehow now has got to find a safety shot.
Twice as hard as that. He's just overkicked it. Such a good finish as well, it's amazing. Steve's just got to duck somewhere and hide the cue ball.
They're looking on. The nerves are there. There's no smiles now.
Well, they thought they were out 2 seconds ago. This is a shot they shouldn't have had.
Still so much pressure on this finish. He's got the 2 balls up the table. Certainly one right in the middle of the boat rail. Well, he's having a look. He's out of his seat.
It's not great. Rusty knows it. 7-7 and a semi-final of the World Championships, representing your country. You can't get any more pressure than this.
And the one thing it is doing now for Steve Saxon is forcing him to take the 2 balls up the table.
Which does him a favour, because I think if he leaves himself at a nice angle, he's going to drop down where his work is. So as long as he doesn't overscrew this. He hasn't, he just dragged it.
So many times though in the last hour or so in this match.
He just doesn't want to be thin on it. If he stuns back, and he'll probably stun 2 cushions if he wanted. Doesn't want to be topping through, which it looks like he is doing.
He is doing. He's missed. Oh, that is absolutely unbelievable. I just do not know. Look, Joe's there. He's trying to calm the Moroccans down. He said, look, let's just keep it down. 2 more shots.
There's going to be pressure there. He's had one opportunity. Just needs to catch it.
He's not going to get a better opportunity than this.
Screwing it, clipping this in. This for a place in the final. An unbelievable chance.
And down goes the black, and Morocco have made it. They're into the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World 8-Ball Pool Championship Arena for this, the team final. Before I introduce the teams, please welcome into the arena the referee, Tanya Ahmet. And please also put your hands together for the President of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, Mr. Joe Fanto. So now to bring in the teams. In their first ever World 8-Ball Pool Championship team final, please welcome Team Morocco. And their opponents in this final, the reigning champions, Team England. I'm off. Best of luck, guys. See you later. Cheers. I'll now hand you over to the referee for the start of the match and the official handshakes.
So here we are in the arena. It's the World Men's Team Championship final. The odds-on favourites and reigning champions England against the outsiders from Morocco. Incredible performance last night we saw from the Moroccan team. But it's going to be England to break off with Rob Warren winning the lag.
The England team sticking with the winning formula from last night. They've put out exactly the same lineup as they had against Ireland.
Yeah, again, I was talking to Steve Mills after the match last night. Sort of said, you know, he likely to make any changes. He said no. He said certainly the same side, and they've just switched the order. A couple of players switched round, but pretty much the same order as well. So it's Rob Warren to get proceedings underway for England, and Morocco again sent their star player out, Emir Riyad Abdelati. He finished joint top of the rankings after the group stages, and he's out there to lead his team against England. Lost the cue ball a little bit there, but he has made a ball. So first opportunity England. It's the best of 15 championship final. We're live and exclusive from the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool, part of the Hotel Collection Group.
In fact, it's a match-up of the best players from both teams. Rob Warren finishing top of the England averaging, winning 19 out of the 25 frames he played in the group stages.
Yeah, it's something that we mentioned last night in commentary, that although Rob Warren's top of the average today, he's nowhere near the top 10. I think he was about 13th in the ranking list. But because England have rotated the squad. You look at the Dave Wildman, great player from Leicestershire A team. He's not been able to force his way onto the TV team yet, but although he still played 17 frames. You look at some of the other teams, when we've got down to the 9th and 10th player, they've only played 1 or 2 frames. But Steve Mills, fair to his squad, he gives them all a chance, rotates the squad. Maybe in what he considers some of the lesser matches, the players get an opportunity, but and if they take that opportunity, fair play to them.
I think had they been playing Morocco in the group stages, this could easily have been a match when they'd have thought about bringing in some new faces and resting some of the more experienced players. But taking absolutely no chances here, leading out with one of the strongest performers of the week. And this is exactly the kind of start they want. The England team has got a good reputation for getting out of the blocks quickly, and they know in this match that they want to get Morocco under some early pressure.
Yeah, certainly so. I mean, this in the group stages, this match was 12-9 England, which is quite close, and it was actually 9-all, and England managed to take the last 3 frames to secure the victory. So it's close. I know Morocco, I think they have beaten England before as well at these championships, so they won't be scared of the reputations.
I think normally in this situation England would consider themselves strong favourites, almost more because of the situation. They've been out in this arena in front of the big crowd so much more than the Moroccans, but having watched last night's performance, they might not be quite so confident about that anymore.
I think he's underhit that by a long way there.
Yeah, he left himself in a tricky position there. I think he was having to play that with a trace of left-hand side to turn the pot over. He couldn't quite see enough of it. And as a result, couldn't hit it quite as hard as he wanted.
It was all about the previous shot there. So you see our referee Tanya Armit from Australia, one of the top officials from down under. Well, he's made contact with black, he's rattled it, stayed up, and Amir now has a chance.
And this is a brilliant chance. You can never ask for much more than your opponent clearing all of their balls out of the way. Just 7 reds and the black left on the table. In fact, six reds and the black, because Rob potted a red off the break and took yellows.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they're all in the open. There's nothing difficult about this finish. The only thing difficult, obviously, makes the finish difficult is the pressure. The pressure of being in that World Team Final.
Yeah, I memean, this is a simpler practice position for any amateur club player. This is the kind of position you throw the balls when you're just warming your arm up. And this would hurt England, although I don't think they're going to be worrying too much in the early going. They still want to show their authority early on. The last thing they want is to slip a couple of frames behind.
Well, I think every frame counts in a best of 15 match, and I think England have been looking to come out the blocks and stamp their authority on the game. And if they could, they'd be thinking, well, we need to be leading 5-2 at the interval and put all the pressure on in the same way Australia did last night. But Australia couldn't respond when they came out, gifted 1 or 2 frames away, and all of a sudden Morocco were back in the game. But as you say, still early days yet. I mean, every player that's in the England first half lineup has been out there, certainly on a couple of occasions before, so vastly experienced and used to dealing with the pressure that comes with being the reigning world champions.
Yeah, it's almost an arrogant swagger that the England team have around the table, just because they're so used to playing here, and they turn up expecting to be in the final and frankly expecting to win it every year.
Yeah, and Amir there has not played a very good shot. He's left the cue ball tight on the rail, which makes this pot into the middle just that little bit more difficult.
That was a better shot than it looked. Coming perilously close with the cue ball. No need for that. The problem was just that it was hard to control the cue ball because he was so close to the cushion.
Down, Morocco take the first frame. And this race to 8 World Team Championship final. There's handshakes and hand slaps all round the Moroccan team. Well, just the start they wanted there, Morocco. Let me say, particularly against the break. Lost a couple of frames last night. The first two frames they broke off in, gone in off, and their opponents have dished the table, so players didn't really get a chance. And even if you lose your first frame, you want just to add a little bit of table time. You see there, captain Yasser Amrani Hanchi and Ashraf Faraj, team. I think he's like a team manager liaison. There's a lot of the work in the background for the team.
Yeah, such a nice guy, Yasser. I interviewed him before the semi-finals. You could see how much it meant to them. You often get people turning up for those kind of interviews almost as a formality, but you'd see the excitement in his face going out into this arena, playing on television for the first time.
Yeah, so second frame, it's Omar Mountford for Morocco to be breaking off.
Employing a cut break there, striking the second ball down, which is often, although you sacrifice getting some of the power into the front of the pack, the second ball down is in contact with more other balls, so it does often produce a decent split. The problem for him is that he hasn't potted a ball.
Yeah, he employed the similar break last night, and so thought that was the way to carry on going. I think Lee Kendall, the England captain, is the master of that break. Seen him employ it so many times and make a ball successfully, and that's really, it's okay spreading the balls with the cut break, but you've got to make a ball if you're going to do that. And Jack Popley, I think, is looking to attack the one bad red, and he's done that. He's been a little bit unfortunate, didn't quite make the contact on it that he wanted. He was looking to try and come in behind it and force it out.
We saw last night in the semi-final what an attacking player he is. He went for a couple of fairly adventurous finishes. It all turned out well eventually, but it's always a slightly dangerous game this. You don't want to take your opponents too lightly. We saw in the last frame, if you get in first and open a few balls up, it just makes it that much easier for the next person.
Yeah, remember that frame you're talking about, Jack? He played quite conservatively early on in the frame, got himself into great position and just decided to go a little bit early for the finish. It wasn't really there, and he was fortunate that the Irish couldn't take advantage of that little bit of impatience. It's a nice shot though, Jack Popel.
Well, it is, although he has left a finish here. I think he probably was hoping that would go in. It's better that it stays near the pocket than running safe, but it's not serving a particularly useful purpose covering that pocket.
No, I think there's just potentially one problem ball to the left of the black spot. There's a red and a yellow very close together, and that might just be what's saving Jack at the moment, but plenty of opportunities just to nudge that and develop. It doesn't want a lot of contact
30 seconds.
on those balls, and all of a sudden Omar Mountjes could have a great opportunity here to extend the Moroccan lead. Well, incredibly, he's missed that.
That's a very careless shot. I mean, that's just the pressure. There was some difficulty in this clearance, but that wasn't one of them. So we saw him keying over there. Unusual to see wearing a glove on his bridge hand. Occasionally you see players do that out in front of the TV lights. It's quite warm. Their hands just get a bit hot and sweaty, and they find it hard to get the cue over. So just wearing a fabric glove just helps the cue to slide a bit more smoothly.
Yeah, obviously finds that, like you say, hand gets quite sweaty, and rather use some chalk, as you see some players employ, and the hand is decided with the glove. Now, second opportunity, England in frame 2, because that red does go bottom left. Jack Pope was just looking at that.
Jack Pope would have hoped to get back to the table, but he certainly wouldn't have expected to get back quite as quickly as he has. And this is useful for him. He's now got an angle to get up to the top of the table where most of the balls are. If he can get up there and get those sorted out.
I'm surprised. I thought he might have played there to try and get on the red that's down bottom left, but only because with it being close to the yellow, he's got to get the right shot on that. Obviously that ball will give him better position for the black if he uses that as his last ball, which he's now going to do. But just got to make sure of this. He's played a nice little cannon there, and this is all now about leaving the right angle on that right hand red to come down the table for his last red bottom left.
It's made life just a little bit more difficult than he needed to. If he could have taken the red along the baulk cushion now and then taken the one over the pocket to get down the table, it would have been easier, but no option to do that. Important he leaves the right angle here. Well, decided to play the positive shot, but that was dangerous. There was every chance of cannoning that ball safe.
I don't think that was the right shot there, Mark, at all. As you say, it's come out away from the rail. Still in a possible position. Well,
although, in fact, to be fair to him, seeing from that camera angle perhaps shows why he did that, in that I'm not sure that red does go into the bottom left-hand corner quite as easily as we thought it did.
I think you just see Jack now back off and just try and hide this cue ball behind the red.
30 seconds.
We heard the 30-second call here, so he's going to have to make his mind up here what he does. He's opted to double it back across, and he's not made it. So England spurn another chance. Morocco second chance. I think Omar will be mighty relieved after that bad miss and his first visit at the table.
Yeah, really needs to steady himself here. Got to a few problems. There's two yellows together on the right hand side of the table aren't ideal, and there's the red and the yellow in the middle. Few options for playing safety shots, and I think if he's not confident that he's going to clear all of the balls up, he'd be better doing that earlier on rather than later.
I think now he's probably just looking to dolly this yellow over the pocket, try and cover the black, and just buy himself a little bit of time here.
Yeah, the important thing with this shot is that he doesn't leave Jack able to see the red up at the top of the table.
Yeah, you see there, he's just pointing with his cue, making sure that probably plays this with a little bit of screw. Oh no, he's opted to pot, so he's taking the attacking option here. Well, I'm really surprised at this. I mean, he had a couple of options for playing safe. He could have flicked off that yellow and come behind the two yellows on the right hand side of the table. You know, there was plenty of options. Just dolly the ball over the pocket and leave the snooker on the ball at the top. So
I find it surprising the way he's played that. I don't think it was necessarily wrong. That was a ball that might have been difficult to get on to. I don't think it was necessarily wrong to pot it, but he's left the safety shot a lot more difficult now. I mean, that's actually turned out quite well, but that was a difficult shot, and if he'd have been a couple of millimetres further to the left, he'd have left Jack a shot at this. To be fair to him though, he has now put Jack in a tricky position. See there, just asking the referee whether it's a total snooker or not.
not sure we saw the initial angle that it is. It's very tight. I think it possibly is just. So just wondering now, Mark, if he's even get past, and maybe he's looking trying to play the ball that's up the table. He isn't. He's going to play the DF here, just nudge up behind the yellow.
I think that's a sensible shot. So he's giving away 2 visits here, but knowing that his opponent's going to waste the first visit getting the cue ball out of this corner. The thing for Omar here is that he needs to not waste the first visit. He's in a rather tight spot. There's not really very much he can do, but really he wants to break out one of the 2 clusters off this if he can. If this is a touching ball, it would make life slightly easier. He could just play straight out into one of the clusters off a cushion. If not, he's going to have to. It's evidently not, because he's going to have to graze off this yellow.
Yeah, I think we've seen our referee Tanya Ahmed. She just stepped in at the beginning and just checked it wasn't a total touching ball.
Well, that's all right. He didn't get the yellow out, but the flip side of that is that the red is still tied up, so he's not in quite such a rush. If he can play a good safety shot off these 2 and get the balls open.
Gone for the double, gone for the cross double, and he's got it.
Well, that's a brilliant shot, but one fraught with massive danger. He's left Jack plumb on that red had he missed that. And that wasn't by any means an unmissable shot. It was a comparatively straightforward double, but it certainly wasn't a 10 out of 10 shot. So that's one of the problems dealt with. Just the one difficulty remaining is the red and yellow frozen together.
You see the Moroccans there looking on,
Seconds.
expectant.
I wouldn't say he exactly looks confident as he addresses the table, but he is pulling out one shot after another, which are working out pretty well so far.
Yeah, didn't have a particularly great record in the group stage, Omar. Only won 6 frames out of 17. Obviously the stats don't always tell the story. Could have been a lot of breaking dishes against him, but played that stabby little shot again. And he played a similar one early on in the frame and he's missed the ball. Now, does the yellow go bottom right? Because the way he's playing this, it must do. Because otherwise he'd have certainly tried to disturb it earlier.
Yeah, and it does go in there. It's not a bad angle. He's about 2 inches away from absolutely prime position, but he can certainly leave himself a shot at the yellow. The difficulty will just be getting good on the black afterward. If he'd just been a couple of inches further down the table now, it would have been a simple stun shot and over for the black in the same pocket. He'll do a bit more work now.
Yeah, it was about the previous shot. He wasn't just probably wanted to be a little bit straighter on the ball. He's just potted, or just a little bit high on it. But still, opportunity for Morocco here. This is a fantastic start for them. They've taken the opening frame against the break.
That's a much better shot. Although he's not left a very good angle on the black, he got through that a lot better than the previous one. You said he stabbed at that previous one. He still didn't get quite enough side on that, but I think to be fair to him, we've talked a couple of times in commentary about how the spin does sometimes slip on these new cushions. It doesn't grip as quickly as you'd want.
Yeah, you tend to see the ball slide a little bit more off the rail. So thin cut here. Must get shot. This is for Morocco.
That's a very good clearance from a position where, I must confess, I thought it was a bit adventurous the way he was going about those. After he took that double out, he was never really out of position. It was always difficult, but he always had a shot to go.
A brilliant performance there from Omar Mouchid. Morocco now lead by 2 frames to 0 here in this best of 15 World Team Final.
I think that frame will be a bit more worrying for England. The first one, Rob Warren was essentially in good position, and it's perhaps a moment of slight carelessness. Although it looked like he missed the black in the end, I'm not sure he could quite see enough of it. It was more just that he'd slipped out of position. Whereas that frame, Jack Popel had a couple of half-decent opportunities.
So it's frame 3. It's going to be England to break off. Carl Sutton, one of their top performers. Certainly top draw performance in the semi-final against Ireland yesterday. And his opponent sat in the chair waiting for a chance, Mustafa Boukri. Big break there from Carl Sutton, but let's look at that cluster of balls on the left-hand side. The black is in the middle of all that. So certainly a lot of work to be done in this frame for either player.
This is a very important frame for England. It's one thing to slip a couple behind, but 3-0 down would be on their wildest nightmares.
30 seconds.
And frankly, from what I've seen so far, a better Moroccan performance, in fact, than last night when they won. There were some tense moments last night, but today they actually looked far more confident and are playing in a much more positive way, as you see from that shot.
Yeah, I just think that performance last night must have just lifted their confidence sky high, and from going like, well, we're playing Australia in the World semi-final. No matter what happens, we've had a great tournament. We've put in a great performance. All of a sudden now the belief is, hang on a minute, we can win this. We've just beaten Australia, one of the top sides in the world. England, all right, they are the top side in the world. They're the reigning champions, but they've got the belief now, the Moroccans, and you know, their tails are up. England have got to be wary.
They've got the belief and they've got nothing to lose, really. Nobody's expecting them to come and turn over England, but if they were to, what an amazing story it would be. Carl Sutton realising that he can't take anything for granted here, so not rushing into anything. There isn't obviously much of a clearance on anyway, but he seems to have in mind to keep things tight.
Mustafa Boukri here, he's looking to attack.
Yes, I mean, I suppose the value in that shot was getting a red out of a difficult position. It perhaps didn't matter too much whether it went in or not, although it could have been better playing it at a pace where it stayed near the middle pocket if he did miss it.
Mustafa there looks on, patient, waiting for his opportunity. Carl just lays that yellow in, ties the black up even further.
Carl's a very good attacking player, but he's also been around a long time and is very experienced, and I suspect he's thinking to himself that in a tactical battle he would expect to have the upper hand.
Yeah, been around the game a long time, although fairly new to the England side. Played with the Suffolk Interleague team for many years, and Suffolk County as well, and so vastly experienced. So he'll have a tactical game as well as the attacking game. But does prefer the attacking game. He played in the Masters the other night in a match against Phil Harrison. and we put a referee on the clock on the match right from the start because the tournament was running a little bit behind, and Carl said, "Trust me, you won't want the clock for me." And in fairness, the match didn't last too long, even though he was on the wrong side of an 8-4 scoreline.
And that's something we've seen a lot of this week. People attempting to cover, particularly that bottom right-hand corner pocket. Several people have potted balls there that they didn't want to.
Yeah, we were right at the top of the programmes yesterday. Rob Chilton's tried to lay a ball over that corner pocket from down the table, and it's just hit both jaws, dropped, and put him in some trouble.
Well, there's embarrassing positions where it now looks like he's played a ridiculous shot where he's just slowly rolled an easy ball into the pocket and is way out of position.
30 seconds.
And this is all about those cluster of balls on the side, and I think Carl's playing at them now, which I'm surprised about.
Well, what's he doing now? He's missed the ball on the way past, hasn't
It's
he?
a foul. It's got to be a foul. Well, that's incredible.
Extraordinary lapse of judgment. He was trying to play very thin off that yellow and end up in a similar spot, but he did have to hit it.
I'm surprised at this point he was going anywhere near that group of balls, because that's certainly the key to this frame at the moment. So Mustafa now that area.
And what a disaster for Carl to have left him on the difficult ball as well.
The thing is, if he can retain his 2 visits, he can use those 2 visits to set up the black.
I must say, if you'd watched the first few shots of this frame, you'd have been forgiven for thinking that it was Morocco that were the strong favourites for this match. Victory from the start has been after these balls, and it's been Carl that's been trying to tighten the frame up.
It's okay. He'd have probably been just trying to lay that, drop on that dead weight to play the plant, but that's fine. No problems yet.
Yeah, it was just a fraction heavy-handed. It was just to make the position a little bit easier if that ball had stayed a bit closer to the pocket.
Because the idea is take the one at top right and then just drop the one in the middle right and leave an angle on the one that's by the yellow. Has he overcut that? He has.
Careless.
Poor shot there from Mustafa Bukri. I'm saying he'd come too far up the table as well, and that was caused by the previous shot, because this was his ball to stun over for the black. Well, it quite would have gone down towards this left-hand corner pocket. It's glued to the yellow, but he certainly could have set it up. He's wasted that first visit now.
Yeah, this has gone from being a promising opportunity to a pretty difficult one.
30 seconds.
Now the question is, does this red ball pot anywhere? Because if it doesn't, it's got a very awkward shot here.
I think it does go top left mark, but I say he's got to have the right angle. Middle, yeah. Quite sure from that angle.
The problem he's also got here, I think possibly he can squeeze the red in, but see how much traffic there is. I think the black might go if you're right over this side of the table, but
well, it's hit the far jaw, and has he just come too far? He's just overcut that slightly. It's hit the far jaw and gone in.
because he's hit it thinner than he was expecting, the cue ball's come further across the table than he wanted.
I can see the black. He's just having to spin this a little bit. We've seen these shots before.
Oh, that's
Morocco now lead by 3 frames to 0. It's race to 8. Incredible scenes here in Blackpool. Absolutely unprecedented. You see just how much it means to the Moroccan team now. There's high fives, there's shouts, there's cheers. The excitement builds in the tournament arena.
absolutely fantastic black. That couldn't have been more difficult. Couldn't see enough of it. He was having to play it with a tiny bit of swerve to get round, which was effectively the wrong side spin to make the pot easy. Everything about that was difficult.
Yeah, think Lee Kendall said last night in commentary, when seen a couple of players trying to play those shots, he said on this clock it's been so fine, he said it just doesn't take the spin. Well, he did there, and so there's going to be concerned faces on the England side now. What Steve Mills, the manager, there's Ben Flack. He's still to come in this first session. So frame 4, it's Morocco to break with Rashid Lamhasni. And they're leading by unbelievably 3 frames to 0 against the reigning world champions.
We've been told over and over again how good a cue is the Moroccan goal, coming from the snooker background. That wasn't at times particularly evident last night. There were a lot of snatch shots, but we're starting to see real glimpses of it now.
Well, his first order done there for Rashid. He's made a ball.
Yellow ball's nominated.
I think he's possibly going yellows here. I didn't quite hear what is nominated to our referee.
30 seconds.
Imposing figure in the chair of the 2012 world champion John Rowe. Rashid will know that he can't afford to be giving him any opportunity.
Yellow ball's in play.
So played that well there. He's avoided the yellow that he's closest to now as he's come round. I think he was probably playing for the one in the middle or for the one into the top left, and just left himself in a little bit of no man's land here. But they've certainly come out Morocco this morning with the intention to attack every opportunity.
30 seconds.
And it's good to see that. You sometimes see the underdogs coming into the match just trying to achieve respectability, but these guys have come out and played positively from the get-go.
Yeah, next up for England is going to be the England captain Lee Kendall. And he certainly won't be wanting to come to the tables with his side 4-0 down. Not in his wildest nightmares would that scenario have been there at the start of this match. Only twice in the last 10 years have England not captured this title, and both times it's been Team Ireland who've stopped them. A little bit awkward there. He might have been still looking to play that ball as his next one. Now, is he going to have to maybe come off the bottom cushion, the right hand corner pocket, and try and flick the yellow in and get the cue ball out past the black?
Yeah, that cannon's worked out badly. If he could have plotted the ball in the bottom left, as you say.
Well, he's jacking up. We see there he's got plenty of space to get out there. Showing the camera angle before that.
Now, he's got to strike this right. He's got quite a lot of angle. He's just got to make absolutely sure that he gets into the... Oh, in fact, that's all right. He's far enough off the cushion there that he can screw into this. Just needs to get back to know where his hand is.
And all John Rowe could do is look on and hope and pray.
The first sign of nerves in this visit, he hasn't screwed back nearly far enough. He could have left a much easier shot than this.
Yeah, to be fair though, he's not got to do an awful lot with the cue ball here. Just concentrate 100% on this pot, and he's almost guaranteed to be on the black. Just to jack up a little bit here. That's absolutely fantastic. Look at the emotion. Now he's got to be a little bit careful. It's a straightforward black, but we've seen in these matches so far anything can happen.
It's always a dangerous game. Celebrating before the last ball, but this is a simple black.
And down it goes, and Morocco now lead by 4 frames to 0. What an incredible performance this is from the African team. You see there all the celebrations on the Moroccan side, and I think what they've got to do is just need to calm the captain, is just to calm them down, Yasser. Get them and just say, listen, come on, we're 4-0 up. This is nowhere near won. They just need to concentrate, calm down, keep the emotions in check as well as they can.
And what amazing scenes. I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams could have imagined Morocco leading by 4-0 at this point.
Absolutely unbelievable, Mark. It's just, as I said there in the commentary, they've come so positive right from the off. You know, every opportunity they've looked to attack. There's been a couple of times there where we were thinking, hang on a minute, the guy really should be just sort of like just backing off here a little bit. But no, they've whether they've just made a conscious team decision that they're going to attack every opportunity they get, we're going to go for that opportunity. Let's not give England a chance to think we're scared of them and we're going to back off. Let's see if we can really put the pressure on them, come out firing, and they have done. I mean, 4-0, absolutely unbelievable.
I really like that. As we see behind us, Lee Kendall stepping up to the table to break off here. How important is this? I mean, Lee is absolute stalwart of these championships. There isn't possibly a better man to step up in this position, but this is a task.
Yeah, frame 5 and they're trailing 4-0 and probably the most experienced player in these championships now at the table for England. And a dry break, so Jao Tabit from Morocco comes to the table with yet another opportunity. He's going to be looking to take the reds if he can here, but he'll be wanting to leave the one over the bottom right hand corner pocket, so there is one there, goes into this bottom left. You see there Lee Kendall giving his opponent the stare, but unfortunately the stare isn't working at the moment.
Right in the heart of the pocket.
No nerves here from this Moroccan side. So it's pretty much all out attack. And say that shot right in the heart of the pocket. In decent position. This is one of those finishes really where you just need to go about it whichever the way you want. He's got one awkward red that's just above the yellow on the right hand side. He's going to have to develop that. Looks like plenty of opportunity to do that. Just wonder if he's tried to leave himself an angle here. Take the one into the right hand middle, run through, and disturb that red and yellow. And he's almost guaranteed still to be on the ball, and that's his like banker ball, the one over the bottom right hand corner pocket.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations where it's best to break it out early on when you've still got plenty of other balls to land on.
Well, he's attempted to there, but he's not made it. He's just pushed the red onto the side rail and the yellow down towards the red over the pocket. So Lee Kendall's just going to be feeling a little bit happier now. Could be sort of turning into his sort of frame, and we see there the yellow flies past that red.
Yeah, and that's what he's got to be careful about. In a way, it's not the worst position because he has still got the red over the pocket, but what he should be thinking about here is if he's not going to clear up in this visit, don't leave Lee able to slot that yellow pass.
50 seconds.
I think he's backing off here. I think he's just going to be dropping onto that red and taking that pocket. Well, he hasn't. Again, they've chosen the attacking option.
Well, I'm all for being positive. I think that was a bold shot.
Yeah, I think he should have been backing off there. I think again he's tried to develop that red that's up the rail. And all he's done is bumped into the yellow. And he's not touched that red. So he's almost backing himself into a corner here, Mark, where he's just got to have to keep going, no matter how difficult the situation is. Looks like he's trying to take this top right now. And he's wide on that. So Lee Kendall opportunity. A couple of shots thought he was in some trouble.
That's just a little bit ragged there. I think I don't entirely blame him for going for the attacking option, but I think there were other ways of doing it. He had a red into the middle pocket. He could perhaps have played the red into the cluster over the corner and done it like that. I think the option he took was fraught with danger. And this has been the first really clear-cut England opportunity for a couple of frames now.
Yeah, they've barely had a chance in this match. I mean, Carl Sutton was never really in his frame. Certainly the early part of it when they were trading the tactical side. Rob Warren did have a chance opening frame, couldn't take it, and at that point you're thinking, oh, well, it's first frame, there's no problems here, but now England are in all sorts of trouble. 4-0 down in a race to 8 in the Men's World Team Final. Quite sure. I think he was trying to pot that, Mark.
Well, yes, I was going to say, I don't really see the value in that shot, and the way he's looking slightly accusingly at the table, he looks like he's surveying what he's left. I mean, it might have been one thing to play a safety shot, but you surely don't leave your opponent sight of all 3 red. I mean, if this ball goes into the top left-hand corner pocket, it's going to be in good position again. Does go, not entirely clean, but that's just about all right.
I think the black does go right middle. Could possibly go left middle, but certainly right middle it goes. You see there, look, Lee Kendall looks on, and he knows that his side is in all sorts of trouble here.
I think it might have been easier leaving this red until last, because it's the one that affords position onto the black. He's going to have to be a bit careful with this positional shot. The position wasn't too clever either. Now, second chance for Lee Kendall. Can't hope to get any more chances than this. Really got to get this frame sorted out. And if this yellow goes above the black, and it clearly does, this is a very good opportunity. It's all about this plant. Just drop it in, not too hard, don't risk knocking the second yellow safe.
See there, young Joe Prince, one of the newcomers, Dave Fernandez to the right there. They're looking on, they're concerned.
Like a never-ending production line of talent, the England team. So many people waiting in the wings, looking for an opportunity.
Well, it's incredible, to be honest. You look at the UK tour, you know, the strength of that tour, 180 players. It's not just down to 1 or 2 who can win that, the open draw. And there's just so many good players coming through now who play on that tour. And you think, how is he not getting in the England side? How is he not in the England side? And it just shows how difficult it has been over the years to get into this side and then to maintain your place. I mean, they have got a nucleus of 7 or 8 players who play so well together and have won this title on so many occasions. But each time there's 1 or 2 new faces appear here in Blackpool, make a name for himself and suddenly become part of that team. Very delicate shot there from Lee Kendall. He knows how massive this frame is now for England. Just be a little bit concerned because he's going to be having to get position off his last ball that's right in the jaws of a pocket, which is not always ideal because the knuckles of the pocket come into play on these shots, but he's made sure that he's got close to his work. Now he can just be able to stun back off this, probably take the black into that same top left-hand corner pocket he's just potted into.
Yeah, he's got lots of options now. That was a sensible, positive shot to play. By getting close to this yellow, he's taken a lot of the risks out of the equation.
1 or 2 of the England players still afford to smile there. Probably a nervous smile. Certainly Ben Flackey's up next.
Well, it's nearly the captain's performance, and time again, that's exactly what Lee Kendall's delivered.
Yeah, well, he's not come far enough there. I think he'd have liked this a lot straighter.
Yeah, the awkward thing about this is it's not far off and in off, yet it's quite hard to get any backspin on the cue ball without digging down. I think, looking at that, he obviously feels confident he's not going to go in off, he's just about got enough angle.
So this thin clip from the England captain, Black's down as England finally put a frame on the board, and it's still 4-1 to Morocco.
I remember a situation before where England were 4-0 down, never mind in this kind of position against this supposed underdog type of team.
I remember a few years ago they were 5-2 down to Wales at the halfway mark of the match, but it had been quite a tight affair, and they certainly, you know, the Welsh had just sneaked a couple of frames and England managed to come back into that, and I think they won on the decider. But this is a completely different story. These England players will never have been in this position in this World Team Final.
Time and time again, they turn up and steamroller opposition. It's normally their opponents that are looking down the barrel of trying to get their first frame on the board, not England.
Yeah, so here we have now current European champion Ben Flack, who secured that title in Malta, up against Samir Mohammed. Samir to break. Having a quick check of the pack, making sure he's happy with that rack from our referee, Tanya from Australia. So, frame 6. Morocco lead by 4 frames to 1. There's lots of free ball there, it's going off. That's exactly what England would have wanted. Particularly willing to the in-off, but certainly an opportunity.
And this is one of the big names in the England team. We've seen on a number of occasions Ben Flack stepping up at a big moment. Remember him winning the title in the past, massive celebrations to the camera afterwards.
Yeah, I'm sure Ben's already got a celebration planned, but that celebration's going to have to be put on hold for a while.
30 seconds.
There's certainly no easy finish here with even with one visit, which you only get after the in-off on the break. It's not the 2 vis like the normal in-off shot.
It mean a lot to England to clear up in this one visit. Not only would it be a much needed frame on the board, but really at the moment they're losing the psychological battle. They need to send a message to Morocco that they're the ones to beat. At the moment it kind of looks like they're the underdogs.
I think I'd imagine Ben's going to back off here. Should just look to roll this red over that bottom right hand corner pocket, take control of that, because it's all those yellows that are on that side, and he's also got a red that's the bottom side of those yellows that if he does choose to develop, the red will go towards the pocket, potentially knock the red in at some point and open the frame up. But, I'd be surprised if Ben attacks here, but he's a very attacking player by nature, like most of the England players. So,
I wonder if again he's tried to cover that. Although I mean, he did appear to be playing it like a pot, the pace he played it at. But he just looked a bit surprised when it fell in somehow.
Yeah,
I don't really see what he's played there.
Yeah, that was never the pace to try and cover that pocket.
No.
And if he's going to play that shot, then why not play it with a lot more pace and try and disturb that red and the yellow? But if he does that and it goes wrong, he finished snookered, or he's got no pot, like he hasn't got a pot on a red now.
30 seconds.
Potentially handing the table back over to Samir here.
Yeah, there were opportunities to go for a clearance if he'd have screwed that ball in. Looks like this bottom red does in fact go in the pocket that's nearest to the camera now, but he's certainly not from where he is.
She's opted to move that red out into the middle of the table. Played a nice shot, parked the cue ball on the bottom rail, but there's a couple of yellows up the table here that Samir can see.
I can understand the logic of this kind of approach where you throw the gauntlet down, although it does need to be mindful of the fact that Morocco, every time the gauntlet has been thrown down, have snatched it up and run away with it.
Yeah, I think that's certainly the case.
30 seconds.
Frankly, that was the kind of shot that they were missing yesterday, whereas today they don't look remotely like missing them.
No, I went in the practice room this morning, had a quick chat with them, and say they were all feeling very confident, excited, and they were certainly cueing well. They were knocking some finishes in on that practice table, so obviously that was something they identified that last night. They missed far too many straightforward pots, if you like, and it was the potting that needed to concentrate on.
I mean, last night they looked like a team that it was their first time in the TV arena, as it was. Today they've had that experience and they've brushed it off completely.
Yeah, they look like they've been out there on many occasions before this morning. So far, this is a brilliant performance, and I don't think the captain could have expected for too much more from them here.
30 seconds.
He could realistically have done 5-0 up. Chance in that last frame now. One good pot here could open this frame up completely, because he's going to be running into the yellow and the black here.
Yeah, this is a relatively natural angle for a cannon. It's a bit hard to play it too precisely, but I think if he gets into the join between the black and the yellow, somewhere around there.
The thing is, if he screws this across, he could be moving the black out into an opening position and still leaving himself. Oh, he's missed the pot because he's opened everything out and he's just missed the pot. That's unlucky. That is. That's a brave shot.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you take your eye off the pot to get the cannon, and that's a horrible result. He's left Ben Flack right in amongst them, moved the black out.
You certainly won't see Ben Flack running around the table. He knows the importance of this frame in the context of the match. I mean, I think England would be desperately to get into the break at 4-3 now, and if they do, they're going to think, well, we're still favourites for this. You know, have the Moroccans sort of used up all that energy? We see there, president of the World 8-Ball Pool Federation, Joe Fanto, he looks on. Riveting action, live and exclusive from the Imperial Hotel in Blackpool.
My guest in the studio last night, Joe Fanto, tense moments whilst all of the neutrals were winning Morocco on. All of the Australian supporters were obviously desperately hoping their team would fall over the line.
Come a little bit further than he'd like there, Ben Flack. He's wanted to land about probably 3 or 4 inches further back up the table.
Yeah, he'll be a bit annoyed with that. It's an easy enough pot on this red in the centre, but now he's going to take the cue ball up and down the table again, and then you risk not landing perfectly on the red. It's always the key when you're under a lot of pressure, just to try and keep things simple. Don't move the cue ball around too much. He's not got much choice here, though.
Yeah, I think Lee Kendall alluded to that yesterday. Great shot there from Ben Flack. Again, just come that little bit far, but he can just drop this in dead weight into the middle pocket and leave a straight back bottom left. So good position here. Yeah, Lee Kendall alluded to that on his commentary, that you always try and just keep all your work together. Have the cue ball moving as little as possible in these situations. Super shot in there. Carl Sutton giving it the heart. And it's there, and England have cut the deficit once more. It's now 4-2 Morocco in this race to 8 here in Blackpool.
That could be a significant frame. Between 5-1 and 4-2 is absolutely massive. Yeah. England have got their tails up, much more in control than they were a moment ago.
Yeah, so you stand down the back there a little bit. Frame 5 could have quite easily been 5-0. And could have lost that frame as well. But as it is, just a couple of little mistakes crept into the Moroccan game, and England right back in this game now. And you see here it's Satouni Hassan for Morocco coming to the table, one of the heroes from last night. He made it 7-all. Still some smiles over there, but it's just going to probably a little bit concerned now. Seeing him come back. Gavin Lomax, vastly experienced player, British Lion, toured down under in a successful event, and it'll be him to break off. Frame 7, England, though, trailing by 4 frames to 2 in this race to 8. A little bit of stabby on there on the break shot, didn't really get into it. Nearly lost the cue ball bottom top right as well. So first chance Morocco here, and we've seen the table like this on a similar occasion, Mark, on a couple 2 or 3 frames in this first half of the match, and you think, well, you can pot a couple of balls and just try and take control, but no, they've gone at it and been successful. But I think they just need to back off a little bit here, Morocco. Just try and take control. They'll be desperate to get to that interval 5-2.
Yeah, it's a fine line between confidence and overconfidence. That they've perhaps gone for a couple of shots that could have gone wrong but didn't. You've got to be mindful if they keep going for it that it doesn't always come off.
Possibly looking to attack again here. Takes this ball bottom left and he runs into the black and the reds, and he opens this right up. And he's tried that, but he's pushed the red onto the bottom rail. Possibly goes bottom left.
Just didn't seem quite the right way of playing that shot. The cue ball came into it a bit flat. You kind of felt either he needs to play it more delicately or get a bit more power in and screw off the ball.
Yeah, it was full ball was the shot there, because that red was always going to come to the bottom rail. So he wanted to be bouncing that back up. Now
30 seconds.
well, superb shot there. He's opened it right up now, this frame.
Yeah, that could not have worked out any better. That was a shot where it was pretty hard to control where all the different balls were going.
Yeah, there's just one key shot here. He's going to have to get position on the red that's just below the black. We see there, sponsor of this event, the Hotel Collection, newly formed, the Imperial Hotel, part of that group.
And what drama the Imperial Hotel's seen this week. We've had teams from so many countries.
Well,
I'm always astonished to see how far some people have had to travel from
it's
to get
incredible. If you totted up the miles, you'd probably go around the planet something like 15 times. The Australians obviously have come all the way halfway around the world, each of them. There's Moroccans, we've had the Reunion Island, travelled all the way up France, Belgium, South Africa, from the southern hemisphere as well. And the atmosphere, when you walk into the main hall, when the team matches are going, the atmosphere is absolutely unbelievable. The noise, it's just like a cacophony of noise that you just walk into. The shouting, the celebrations, the singing, incredible.
I just think the team competition is awesome. You see some fantastic play in the singles, but it's always just a bit more business-like somehow. People quietly go about their business, whereas the team, as you say, is just so much atmosphere and drama around it.
Yeah, you just get, occasionally you'll get like a singles game like the Australians, one of the big Australian stars getting through right to the business end, and there's a lot of vocal support then for them, but you tend to find, like you say, the singles just that little bit more sedate. But certainly the team game and the team championship, like no other. The way he's playing this, he looks, that red goes to the, I was going to say it goes to the right middle, but it looks like he may have finished behind that yellow.
Well, that wasn't ideal at all. I mean, I suppose, to be fair, there wasn't a great deal more he could do once he left himself in that position, but it's very careless to have snookered himself if he has.
Well, maybe he can still see it. He's certainly weighing it up.
Yeah, perhaps he can see enough of it.
Yeah, but it's getting position on the black as well here.
Yeah, this is a big shot. He's going to have to play this quite hard.
No, he's missed it. He's gone wide. So, Gavin Lomax, superb opportunity now.
And we've seen several of these positions where one player has gone for the early balls and left a much easier opportunity for their opponent.
Only one little bit of difficulty for Gavin Lomax again. Young Joe Prince looking on. He was the reserve that came in last night's semi-final. It'll be interesting to see if it's him again. Rob Warne, he led the team out. He's sort of like giving his opinion. Gavin's just decided to back off, hide the cue ball behind that black and yellow, looking to extract the 2 visits and make the finish a lot easier.
I think that's very telling of both the fact that the scoreline is like this and it's a team competition. I think Gavin Lomax is such a good player. From that position, he'd clear up a large majority of the time, but taking no chances. Normally you'd say the only slight risk of doing this is that he could end up fluking this red ball, but I suppose you think he's not also likely to end up perfect on the black, so it's worth taking that risk.
You see there, he's looking, can he get behind the red and knock it into that left-hand middle pocket? Very difficult shot, as you say, the ball reacts quite differently off this 8-foot table cushions, and that's why he's attempted, and he's split everything up. Has he been fortunate there? He's tucked right on the yellow.
Well, judging by the reaction of the England team, it doesn't look a perfect opportunity yet, although understandably tense. Jack Pope will shake his head there. I think he thinks the Moroccan player has been fortunate.
Again, whether now Gavin's just going to have to try and look at backing off here.
Yeah, he will be frustrated if he hasn't got a shot at this. If he'd finished 2 inches further away from this yellow that he's nearest, this would be so straightforward.
Yeah, and I think playing this shot up the table's not easy now because of the way the balls have been. He's just tried to hide the cue ball behind that yellow at the top of the table. He hasn't done it, but not left anything on. So can Zatouni found some African magic from somewhere for this last red?
This is the classic position we've all been in so many times, when you get so close to clearing up and then you end up chasing this last ball around.
Lee Kendall will tell you he'll always prefer to have his 7 balls on the table. It gives you options to hide that cue ball when the opponent's only got 1 left.
Yeah, the number of times you'll see somebody who doesn't play much of the game look at a table like this and think that the player on reds is miles ahead. Well, you say you'd so much rather be yellow.
Well, he's unlucky there. He's tried something really extravagant to play the red off the yellow. Unfortunately, flicked the other yellow. The cue ball's come between the gap and finished in the corner pocket. And now England massive favourites for this frame, because the one awkward ball Gavin Lomax had, he's got like a free shot on it now. Cue ball in hand, yellow along the top rail, just a little bit of angle to come out. Excellent shot there.
Yeah, Zatouni had missed that red, so Gavin Lomax was always coming back to the table, but to have ball in hand and the 2 visits has dealt with all of his problems in one go.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of position where once in a blue moon is he not going to clear up from this. It would take a minor miracle for him to miss from here.
You see there, Zatouni just looks on, thinking what might have been. So he probably just felt there he'd been backed into a corner and he had to go for something, and that was his best option.
Taking the ball over the pocket rather than trying to play it as a plant because he didn't want to lose the other one. Still in a good position, and with the 2 visits remaining. Just needs to punch this one into the bottom right hand corner pocket. If you can get the cue ball anywhere out near where it is now or a bit higher.
Yeah, I think he got a nice angle there. He didn't got to do too much with the cue ball. It was just a natural angle to come back out. He's just checking. He's asking for a rest. I don't know whether he's checking whether he's still got 2 visits there. Just double checking. You see, even the most experienced players, sometimes the tension gets to them, and they just have a little check with the referees. It's still first visit, but it is. But it's the rest for Gavin Lomax, and accomplished snooker player, so no problem with the rest. But they just want him. He might have wanted to get just a little bit further out there, but he should be okay here. He's just stunned that in. Lovely shot there, Gavin Lomax. The black's down, and England now pull a further frame back. It's 4-3 in this race to 8 in the World Team semi-final. And it's celebrations all round on the England side. In the second half, and have brought in their main man as the reserve, frame 15, Hakeem Tafiq. He was the hero of Morocco last night, winning that deciding frame against Australia. But there's a long way to go before that. England will be certainly hoping that they don't get to that stage.
So I'm not sure if they'll be pleased or not if Hakim ends up coming on for the Moroccan.
Oh, dry break there from Amir. So Rob Warren opportunity. Same two players from the opening frame of this match. Rob's certainly be going yellows here. That black's parked itself over bottom right.
Probably a slight added pressure for the England players that were unsuccessful in the first session. They're not going to want to lose 2 frames in the same match.
Yeah, well, it's the same 4 players, slightly different order. Carl Sutton's coming in second rather than third, and then Jack Popel drops down to third. So that's all to do with the break, I suspect, giving certain players the break in the second half, because you don't know that in the first half as who's going to break until after the team sheet's gone in. So early opportunity here for England to get right back in this match, 4 frames all.
And this is a very presentable chance. The only difficult yellow was the one that he was able to cannon out there, and that's worked out absolutely perfectly.
That is absolutely superb from Rob Warren there, because he not only developed that bad one, but he's dropped perfect then onto this yellow into the bottom left-hand corner.
I mean, I'm not actually sure he would really have been playing that, because having played the first cannon, you'd have no idea where the white was going to finish.
No, I think the white's been double kissed back towards the red and knocked it across, and he's been, I say, it's a superb shot. A little bit of fortune in it, but fortune favours the brave in this game. And certainly England needs some fortune in the second half. Well, he's missed the pot. That is incredible.
Yeah, I've never seen him miss a ball like that. I mean, that was the most straightforward ball. He had very little to do with the cue ball.
Absolutely unbelievable. And that can only be down to one thing, the pressure.
I think he'll probably say he was trying to force a bit of an angle, but as you say, it's essentially just the pressure, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't think there was no need to do that, to play that shot in that way. There are plenty of options there. The one thing is, I think there's a red that will pass past that black into the bottom right-hand corner pocket. So, we saw the Moroccans very attacking in the first half of this match. Will they continue in the same vein? Having seen England recover from a 4 frames to 0.
He was trying to get on it there. That's a bit careless. He hasn't got into the cue ball enough. He was hoping he could just drop on the red on the right-hand side of the table and knock it in off the black and move the black out of the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure we saw that camber angle there. The red actually does go.
Looks like he's considering whether he might be able to hide the cue ball somewhere in this bottom right-hand corner.
No, he's not sure.
No, this is a difficult position, because if he can't open up that pocket, he's going to have those 2 reds stuck there for quite a while whilst the black is ready to be potted. So
Nice shot there.
I mean, this is all right, but the problem will be that he'll keep hiding Rob Warren from his yellows, and Rob will probably keep getting out if they're not difficult snookers. He's still at some stage got to get those 2 reds out of there.
I think Rob Warren's just looking here. He can come off the bottom rail here. Well, he just looks to try and flick this yellow towards the. He's lost a cue ball. Well, how that stayed up, I don't know. I was convinced that cue ball was going to drop. It's right in the jaws of the pocket, deep in.
Well, that's a lucky and potentially significant break for England, because 2 shots ball in hand up the far end, it would be easy to get the difficult reds out. From this position, it's very difficult to do anything. And actually more than that for Rob Warren, he's now got the yellows and the black all in nice positions on the table. It's a very unattractive position for Amir here, and he's additionally going to be annoyed that he's in it, because he could so easily have had it ball in hand.
He's doubled one of the reds out and then parked the cue ball back on the bottom rail. So a nice shot from there.
Yeah, still thinking clearly that couldn't do anything absolutely perfect, but just keeps the game tight, starts chipping away at the problem.
Yeah, certainly their most experienced player these championships. He's finished top of the team stats and top of the overall stats, along with Tommy Morrow, and I think it was Jake McCartney from Australia.
We're back to the same story as a few frames ago when Carl Sutton embarked on a tactical frame. We're so used to seeing the England team come out and keep opening the frames up whilst their opponents try and tie them up, and
I think he's just
suddenly it's been a reversal.
doubling the red across here. I think he's a little bit light on the shot. Just wanted to roll that about probably another 3 or 4 inches. Cover that pocket.
Yeah, it would have been much better over the pocket, but as it is, the game is much more even than it was a moment ago.
I think if Rob Warren can just drop this yellow in the middle pocket. He's not been able to hold the cue ball, that was the problem there.
Although he may have had a lucky nudge at least. He certainly wanted to be on the one at the top, but at least if he can see these two at the bottom, can carry on with the visit.
Yeah, the problem here is the position on this ball. You see there a smile from Rob Warren. I don't think he'd be smiling on the inside. He wanted to be finishing low on this so he could stun back up and maybe even stun into that yellow and just flick the red out the way.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the thing. He needs to be able to flick the red out of the way, and now now that's gone completely astray. A frustrating day at the office for Rob Warren. He's played quite a lot of good shots, and then every time has just slipped slightly out of position.
I think he can just see enough of the yellow maybe here to just take the pocket. Just cover it. It's a little bit awkward bridging over the 3 reds. Well, he's not done it. He's not taken the pocket.
No, I mean that's not a good thing to have done, because you can see clearly how much space there is for that red down the cushion, or maybe able to do something with this one.
I think Amir's just looking to just drop this red behind the yellow.
Oh, that was very careless to leave as much of a gap as that.
He's got Rob in some trouble here though. You can't see the yellow at the top of the table.
And this is something we haven't really seen so far in the match. The Moroccans have been all out potting, but this is a very assured tactical
Rob
performance.
can just flick off this yellow. I don't know whether he was just trying to finish behind that red and try and get the cue ball glued to the red and leaving Amir no shot, but he hasn't managed that. Still not easy. Say just whether the Moroccans have decided at the interval whether we need to just take a step back. He's just developed those 2 awkward balls towards the top of the table.
I think also, as you say, he is one of the more experienced players in the Moroccan team. Although it's easy to think that a tactical game is easy to play because you don't have to pot anything. It's actually the kind of thing that takes quite a long time to master.
Yeah, he certainly gained a lot of experience this year playing on the UK tour. Come over along with Mustafa and Jaoud. Oh, and they can say that cue ball surely not going to stay again.
Well, I think buoyed by his experience the first time, he thought it would be a tougher pocket to put something into, but you can't get as close as that and expect it not to drop.
No. So, another chance for Morocco.
And this is a much better chance than it was earlier on in the frame. He's now got the balls open, bar the one at the bottom, and it's easy enough to open that. He's got a spare red down there if he needs it. He's got 2 visits if he needs that instead.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit undecided.
Yes, and he's just got to be mindful. He has only got 60 seconds here.
Not quite sure what the referee said to him there. It might have been he left his chalk on the table, and although not strictly against the rules, that the referee normally it says that the referee will ask players to remove the chalk from the table.
The reason, of course, for that is just so that people can't use it to line up a shot.
Exactly.
In that case, there was no suggestion but if a player was escaping for a snooker, for example.
Yeah, but it does say in the guidance that the referee and the rules, the referee will always ask the player to remove it. So that's what she's done politely there, and he's taken that on board. He's put it back in his pocket.
The only difficulty is about how he goes about these two. There's no difficulty in the sense that the first one pots and it's easy to open up, but he just doesn't want to somehow knock a ball safe or end up getting the yellow stuck in the mix somehow.
No, but that's the beauty of having the 2 visits here. He can play the cannon, the red off the red, move it out, and set the shot up with his 2 visits.
And they're well set for that. And this is good experience here. A lot of players would get straighter on this shot, and then you'd end up with the cue ball stuck on the left-hand side of the table. But he knows this way. He gets the cue ball back into the middle of the table, which gives him far more options.
That's it. He's just looking very fine flick off this red, so that the cue ball comes back off the rail. The red comes back up the table, and leaves him a very similar shot. Well, he's not done that. Well, I'm very surprised he's played the shot like that.
Yeah, there wasn't much merit in playing Kishan first there, because that was always going to knock the red towards the yellow.
Exactly. They say he should have been playing that clean onto the red. He's asking. No, he's just asking to see where the red's touching the rail there.
It should still be okay, but he can't see very much of it. He's got to be careful he doesn't double kiss the red and knock it safe again. Oh, and that's careless.
That is a very...
There is no excuse for not getting those two balls out with two shots. I mean, that wasn't the bad shot, it was the previous one.
Yeah, without a doubt. And now he's left himself a very, very tough shot up the table.
I mean, in a World Championship final, a golden opportunity, you could not ask for the balls to be more straightforward than they were. I mean, actually, this is kind of a shot to nothing, so it's...
It's there! What a brilliant shot there from Amir. Absolutely fantastic. Simple 8 ball, right corner pocket. It's 5-3 to Morocco in a race to 8. And once again, the excitement on the Moroccan side. The high fives all round.
He made the first half of that visit look very straightforward, and the end of it look very difficult, but the ball went down, and that's all that matters.
Well, superb performance. Looked like he'd made a complete mess of that. But fantastic pot, top left. You see there in the crowd looking on, England under 21 world champion and world finalist. Giuseppe D'Imperio, obviously just getting into the arena, get a little flavour of the atmosphere. He'll be out here later on this afternoon.
I must say, I was very impressed with the way he dispatched Adam Davis yesterday. He made very short work of a former world champion.
Yeah, well, frame 9, England to break. It's Carl Sutton. Big break there from the England side, but again, nothing down, and luck just seems to be deserting England a little bit here. And for Morocco, it's Omar Mounchid.
That's almost a carbon copy of the first break. Carl Sutton, normally a good breaker, hit the ball hard. Angry look at the table as he walked away. Couldn't believe nothing had gone down.
Yeah, I mean, last night he broke in that semi-final very well.
Well, it's so punishing in this format. If you do it in a singles match and you don't get the break right, you adjust it slightly on the next one. But in a team match where you get one or possibly two at most, you just don't get that second chance. He won his first frame, Omar Manchid, but I thought he looked a little bit nervous. He was the player that we said a couple of times seemed to be stabbing at the ball a bit. Don't know if he'll have loosened up a bit, having had one experience out in the arena.
Yeah, he's certainly got an opportunity. He's got a couple of bad yellows on the right hand side of the table. Probably got an opportunity to move the one nearer to the middle pocket here. You see there, England captain looking on, wide-eyed. So, great opportunity here. Frame 9 for Omar Mounchid. I mean, this is really turning the screw on England. I mean, the 5-3 down in the world final. Incredible, really. I mean, they've been in these situations before, but not in the manner of this situation. It's been tight and it's been tense affairs. I mean, Morocco have really taken the game to them here.
They really have. We were saying at the beginning, England aren't going to underestimate them after watching last night, but I think what they were probably thinking to themselves is Australia took their eye off the ball slightly, we're not going to do that. And in fact, it's ended up even worse for them than it did for Australia so far.
Yeah, because certainly been a completely different game last night in that semi-final. Had Morocco come out as positively and as aggressively in that match as they have it today in this final.
Yeah, I mean, they look like a different team from what we saw last night.
Just a question, he'd probably like to have come a little bit further for this red into the middle, right-hand middle.
Yeah, this is a slightly nervous one, although it looks like it should be easy enough, just a straightish shot across the middle of the table. Can't see a lot of the cue ball off the side cushion.
Yeah, the problem is he might have to, when he pops his last ball left-hand middle, he might have to take the cue ball onto the bottom rail back up again. We've seen them shots going astray once or twice already this morning, both teams. So it's just a question of whether you can just drop this in, dead weight, and just hold that. Well, that was a lot straighter than we first thought there on the angle. So now this is absolutely unbelievable. Performance from Morocco. Certainly looks a lot more composed in this second frame of the match.
Yeah, he does. It's a much steadier pace. He sort of walks around the table. The last time you were always worried something was about to go wrong, whereas this time he just looks like a man that knows exactly where he is.
Yeah. And this 8-ball, bottom right, it's there. And Morocco now lead by 6 frames to 3 in this best of 15 team final. No, that's all we seem to be seeing at the moment is the Moroccans going down, the teammates high-fiving. It's 6-3, the race to 8. All the pressure is now on England.
At half-time, a lot of people in the crowd were speculating that England had weathered the storm instead of the ship, to continue using nautical metaphors, and we're going to power ahead. But, I mean, really, the Moroccans have come straight out and repeated what they did at the beginning of the match.
Next up for England, Jack Popel, but it's going to be Mustafa Boukri to break. Referee Tanya, I think, is just having a little bit of trouble with the rack on this frame. She's not quite happy. When you're a referee, you always want to be happy yourself with the rack. So if you know it's not right, you don't think the ball's going to split. It makes you look stupid, to be honest, because the player then looks accusingly if they've not checked it. She just has a little quick check either side. Seems to be happy. Yeah, it's Mustafa. Yeah, he's happy. So frame 10, Morocco to break, leading by 6 frames to 3 in this race to 8. He lost the cue ball a little bit there. It flirted with the middle pocket, but he's made a ball.
Yeah, that's a good split, actually. It shows it was worth taking the time to rack it. They've obviously all frozen together absolutely perfectly. And this is a good opportunity, assuming they're going to continue the attacking vein. As we see, I believe that's the mother of Yasser Amrani, the Moroccan captain, in the crowd there.
Yeah, we've certainly got some vocal support here. Just have to be a little bit careful that the adrenaline doesn't kick in on one or two of these shots. I mean, that was a nice shot from Mustafa. He's got across the table. A little bit awkward. There's a yellow there just to the left of the red. Goes bottom left, but it doesn't go bottom right. So we have to look at developing that out or moving the red out of the way.
I think you can just see enough of that yellow if you can. This is still a good opportunity.
Yeah.
So these 2 yellows at the bottom of the table, just see the top one of those 2 doesn't pot into this near corner pocket, so just makes it that little bit more difficult to get onto. Generally the better players in this kind of situation where the balls are clustered a bit awkwardly but not too close together will just look for ways to drop onto them. You get a lot of amateurs that would immediately rush into some kind of cannon, but you very often don't need to take that risk.
Well, he's forced that through. Looked like he had an angle just to drop it in and maybe take the yellow top left, but he smashed that into the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he keyed that as well as he could, but the angle he had, he's never really going to get the white much further up the table than this.
He's still got that yellow in an awkward position. See there, just below the black, that red, it's just blocking the yellow to the right hand corner. It does go bottom left. It's just about getting position on that.
A classic example of one of these positions where it would be so easy to put all but one ball and then leave your opponent bang in.
Oh, has he got it here? Oh, he's missed it. Been unlucky.
Oh, how's this luck? Does the yellow go? Doesn't look like it goes to the middle or to the top corner. That was a great effort if he'd have managed to cannon that out.
Yeah, he just wanted to maybe just flick that half ball. Cuba goes past it and the yellow then goes bottom left. But been very unlucky, but still at the table. Still got his destiny in his own hands here. He's come all the way around the angles.
It's a bit unlucky, but it was asking a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, he cued it really well. I mean,
He had a fantastic pot.
we've seen him roll a few balls in, and we've not really seen his cue power, but he struck that as well as anybody in the world would have done.
He smashed the ball in bottom left a couple of shots ago. Now, what's he attempting here? Don't think it goes in that middle pocket. Is he just trying to drop it in the far knuckle? No, he isn't. He hasn't gone. So, Jack Popel, the hopes of England are resting with you now.
He's left himself in a bad position here as well. We talked a few frames ago about how getting left with one ball was pretty much the worst possible outcome. This is almost worse than that because that ball is behind so many reds that it's just so easy. Jack just wants to start developing some of these balls and keep the cue balls safe.
Yeah, he's just developed that red out. Nice shot there. Just looking to extract the two visits from Mustafa.
This is just the kind of position there's no real worry for Jack Popel to start with because so long as he gets him snookered, even if he hits it, he's unlikely to do too much damage. Well, it was nearly a remarkable clearance, but he had so little room to play with. That last shot he missed into the middle pocket.
He's playing for the yellow. And he's made contact, so Jack's just going to have to bide his time out a little bit more.
Yeah, that was a good shot. Not easy to judge that. Cue slightly jacked up. I think if you're Jack Popel, this is one of these situations where, unless something goes wrong, you probably just have to be positive and go for it. Cause that's what he'd do 90% of the time, and if you start doing something different just because this is an important match, it all goes wrong. He's got two balls near-ish cushions, but it's not like he would expect not to be able to pot them. He's just got to make sure he lands reasonably straight on them.
Yeah, I think he's just going to punch this back onto the rail, leave himself the angle on the one at the top of the table, which he's done. He's a little bit straight maybe here, could he be looking to get back down the table?
Yeah, it'd have been better either leaving himself more angle or getting much closer to the ball cushion. Because really, if you could drop on the one on the right hand side and then on the bottom, you kind of join up the dots with the difficult ones first, while you've still got some option.
Yeah, I think the concern is there that he leaves himself too close to the side rail if he doesn't hit that hard, and then that makes this shot even more difficult even with the angle. So that's why he's opted to play it. But as you say, low would have been good here. He's just opted to come back across the table.
It's not bad. He'd rather be just a little bit closer there, with a little bit more angle, because if he could drop on the one right at the bottom of the table, that would be a nice one to get out of the way, but he doesn't want to be playing it from right over near the corner pocket.
But, we've already seen the generosity of this right hand corner pocket a few times in these last couple of days, so
yes, with the slight caveat that it's been on shots that have been played very slowly. I mean, they're not they're not big pockets as such. It's more just that a new cloth where the ball slides down off them.
His player's wiped its face a little bit. I think he's played it in such a way that if he missed, he's going to leave him snookered, his opponent snookered. So could have had a second prize there if necessary. But this is the key shot now.
Yeah, and I think having gone about it this way, this is the safer option now. You can put the one in the left middle, the right middle, and then take the one in the bottom last if need be.
30 seconds.
I don't know, I think he'd... yeah, he's going that way. I just thought whether he was lining up the one on the bottom rail, but...
Yeah, I think the one on the bottom rail is just a bit too missable. Don't think there's any need. I think now if he takes it this way, because where the black's hanging over the right middle.
Yeah, and I think he's just finished low enough to be able to punch this in, come down the table.
Yeah, he doesn't ideally want to be dead straight, but he wants to be fairly close to
Yeah,
straight.
just a little bit of an angle here, just to make sure the cue ball comes away from the bottom rail. And then it's just all about the cueing on the black. Steady performance here from Jack Popel. Second time round against Omar in this match.
Well, he has left it quite straight
Ooh,
there.
that's almost dead straight, and you can see the reaction there from Jack Popel.
The reason why this is bad is because this black, although it looks like it's near the middle pocket, is a bit further down the table than it seems from this camera angle. And actually, playing it off the cushion is a fairly tricky shot.
You see there.
It always looks so inviting when you see that kind of camera angle. You think, well, how would a top player ever miss that? But there's not a lot of margin for error either way.
No, not with I think he's just got a danger here. If he just tries to pinch the pocket a little bit and create the angle, it's missable.
Yeah, I think he's just got to decide how straight he wants it and just leave the cue ball on the rail.
Yeah, and that's, well, I was going to say that's what he's done. He's wiped its feet. And it's gone in. A little shake of the head again from Jack Popel. Now this is probably the biggest shot of the match so far. The difference potentially between 6-4 and 7-3. 7-3 puts Morocco just one frame away from a world title. And that's just, you know, you'd have said at the beginning of this tournament, Morocco would make the final even. It would have been sort of like, well, that's such a long shot, it's incredible. But for them to win the title, just stuff of dreams, really.
And I think their best prospect of doing that would be to get to 7 while they've still got a few frames spare, so that they get a few goes at it, because I think there's going to be an inordinate amount of pressure if the scores get close.
Oh, it's there. Jack Popel nails the black middle pocket. It's now 6-4 Morocco. And you just see the celebration there from the England players and the reaction. They know how massive that frame was.
It's a fairly muted celebration from Jack Popel, but actually that was a good shot. There was a lot of pressure on that.
Yeah, incredible pressure, like I say. The big thing is now England, they're not out of this game at all. Like I say, they've got to keep Morocco away from 7 as long as possible. Say once Morocco get to that 7th frame, just one mistake could cost England. But massive experience coming to the table now. 2012 world champion John Rowe.
Didn't see much of him in his first frame, except from spectating from his seat. He'll be looking to have a bit more of a say in this one. Well, they were very confident when they came into the arena. There was a lot of singing and cheering before the match, but it's all business now.
So frame 11, it's England to break, but they trail by 6 frames to 4 here in this best of 15 team final. Well, close to losing the cue ball there, John Rowe, in that middle pocket. It's an open table, so...
Well, that really is one of those breaks where you can't understand how you haven't potted anything. You hit that well and the balls are going flying around the table. Look immediately confident, Rashid, as he approaches the table, but couldn't really ask for a great deal more. Got a fairly open set of either colour. Maybe not that easy to get started, but got to be pleased to at least have a shot.
For the more difficult red here as the opening shot bottom right, because reds are certainly the better colour. Oh, he's missed by quite a distance there as well. So there's the pressure starting to get to the Moroccan players.
We haven't seen much of that. We've seen them slip out of position and go for some tricky things, but just straight pots that hand on the table just need some cueing. We haven't seen too much missing.
John Rowe looking to take the same suit here, reds. Even after that shot from Rashid, they're still in an open position.
More than anything, I think John Rowe will just be pleased to have a go. The last thing he wants is to have two frames when he doesn't have a chance to show how good he is.
Looking to try and get to the top end of the table off the ball into the left middle here, but he's going to run into the yellow. So he's going to have to take maybe the more awkward pot on bridging over the red, over the black.
30 seconds.
One thing about this shot is he does split those two awkward reds up. Just needs a little bit of luck, which he may have had there, but again, one red's just slightly blocking the other. There's four reds, the two in the middle are blocking each other, I think you see there. So again, he might just need a little nudge.
Yeah, they're well set for a little nudge, but then there's always a chance of getting, he doesn't want to hit it too hard, there's always a chance of getting stuck to one of them.
Yeah, he just stuns across here. No,
I think maybe if you can get through to that far one, that will open things up.
Or maybe he takes the left on one of the three, and he's got an angle of the red middle one of the three into the right middle.
One of those players, John Rowe, that always makes the game look quite easy. He never seems to be under a lot of pressure, just goes around, keeps it simple.
Yeah, there's never much flashiness about him. He's not the one that sends the cue ball flying around the table and the big finishes. Just tries to keep everything nice and simple, like you say.
And you mean that as a compliment, really, because some players that play a load of flamboyant shots don't achieve as much, whereas I think the reason John is like this is because he's always in the right position to start with.
Yeah, I think he wanted to come back a little bit further there off the rail.
This is okay though, he's now opened those two up, we can drop this one in the middle.
He's missed it. Like I say, he just put that little bit of extra pressure on the shot by not coming back an extra 3 or 4 inches.
Well, he missed it because he was trying to hold perfect position on the other one, but I mean there's no excuse for he put it right onto the jaw there.
So second chance in this frame now for Rashid.
This would be a very painful frame to lose. An absolutely prime position for a time there, John Rowe. The yellows aren't quite as easy as the reds were, though.
No, but they've taken out some good finishes already this morning, the Moroccan players.
It's a slightly heavy-handed positional shot there. If he'd just been in this position but 6 inches further to the left, he'd have had a lot more control.
Super shot there. I just wonder if he can he hold this yellow right hand middle, because he's got to have to play that one that he's closest to now at some point.
Yeah, I mean the ideal thing would be to drop this one in the right middle, as you say. The cue ball's going to be coming towards us as we look at it. It's just whether he can hold it.
And then the problem is he's got to get the cue ball up and down the table off that ball. So he's
Yeah, he
opted.
didn't have the angle. I mean, if he didn't have the angle, he had to do that really. But he's now got the problem. He's got to go back up for it. It'd be better to really do it quickly, because the one on the left-hand side of the table would be quite easy to get onto off the difficult one near the middle.
Just wonder now if he's got an angle to run onto the side rail below the middle pocket and disturb that cluster and almost certainly leave himself on the yellow into the bottom left. Oof, wiped its feet. Now can he see that? Is he going to take that? No, he can't take that top left.
Yeah, I mean, that shot he's played there, I don't think it afforded the best position, but I think it was a case of it was the most difficult ball left on the table from a potting point of view, and he just thought, get it out of the way while he was near it. This is getting more difficult now. Yeah, queuing over, if he could get him nearer the middle of the cue ball, it would have been an easier shot. Oh, look at that!
That is unbelievable. How he's got the cue ball between that red and that yellow. That's just like a shot in 1,000, that. Unbelievable.
I mean, he was clearly playing to get the wide up that end of the table, but so much chance he was going to smash into something on the way.
Yeah, and he's just looking to check there that he's going to stun this yellow into the middle, into the red, just to hold the cue ball. He just doesn't want to make sure the red...
He should play it in a positive way so that the red doesn't cover the black.
That's the problem he had there. That's the problem he's had.
That's okay though, the black still pots bottom right.
Well, they're certainly riding the luck a little bit here now. In the second half of this match, the Moroccans, John Rowe looks on. He just wonders now if he's had his last shot of these championships.
Well, this has been one for the crowd. It's kind of the opposite of what we were saying about John Rowe. He's had to play a few very flamboyant shots there.
And it's there, and Morocco now lead by 7 frames to 4 in this World Team Championship final. Well, incredible scenes there. The Moroccans are celebrating. He'll be working his way down the line.
This is absolutely remarkable. We've got 4 Moroccan players, each coming up with a chance to clear up for victory.
One of the big names out on the next frame for them, Joe Ode for Tibet. And he's up against the England debutant in the TV arena, Dave Fernandez.
Yeah, I suspect this team order wasn't structured such that they were expecting this to be potentially the last frame of the match.
No, I think England probably thought they could, I'm not saying hide Dave in there, but they're probably thinking, well, if we get back into the match and we'd have it something like 6-5 up by this point. You know, Dave comes in and gives us a chance to level the match, but it's not worked out that way.
Although Dave is a massive player, it's more just a case of he hasn't had as much TV experience as the rest of them.
Yeah.
I think he had a decent run in the Masters the other day.
Yeah, he got right to the Masters Plate final. You can see there the England supporters, Michelle Brown, Amy Beecham in the background, Jack Popel. That's John Rowe that's got his head in his hands on the front row. You can see there Dave sits and waits and hopes that he gets an opportunity for his country in this frame. So first order of the day, Joe Ode, he's potted a ball. Probably will certainly look to go reds here. He's got the red bottom left and bottom right. The bottom right one there is covering the yellow. Just not quite sure there's a finish there for him as such, but we've seen the Moroccans attack all throughout this match, and I can't see any reason for them to stop attacking now.
Well, I think he's going to have to start off with a pot, just in the sense that he's presumably going to want to take the red balls.
He's looking at taking the red into the right hand middle.
What's he looking at here?
It's incredible.
Does he realise that he's not on reds yet?
Well, that is absolutely unbelievable. That's incredible. He's got a far easier opening pot there. There's a couple of balls he could have taken, and he's just smashed a double in off the side rail.
I mean, to play that shot at any stage during the match would have been extraordinary, but when you haven't even chosen the colours and when you'd be handing over a table, that's amazing.
Incredible. And now he's got an angle just to disturb. Oh, I thought he was going to disturb the red and yellow at the top.
Surely that's what he was trying. must have been what he was trying.
He was a long way wide of it. Maybe he didn't have the angle.
Yeah.
He didn't have a real good look at that shot before he played it.
Well, you asked the question, were they going to come out positively? They certainly are. Oh, good grief.
Well, he's absolutely lashed at that.
I'm kind of giving the crowd something to celebrate, but I mean, really, these are exhibition shots he's throwing in here, and just what could be the frame that decides the World Championship
But
final.
the thing is, after all, he's lashed all of that, and what's happened is we've not seen that red has come down the table now and is developed away.
Yeah.
So the only question now is the yellow to the right of the black. There's a red above it. Does that red go into the bottom right-hand corner pocket? A little bit edgy from there, Dave. From Dave there.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't really what you want for your first appearance in the television stages, is it?
No. It looks like he's got a chance here. Yellow will go past that red bottom right, which is sort of a quick shot of it there. Now, whether he's looking to play that now. No, he's looked to play the one in the middle. Give himself a better angle. And I think that the bottom left-hand corner pocket's not covered in a similar way. So Dave's got an opportunity now. Whether he just wants to just try and drop the yellow in front of the red. No, he's opted to clear it. Great shot there from Dave Fernandez. And I tell you what, he's got a fantastic opportunity to bring England back into this game. Really out of nothing. It was all caused by the miss. All right, Jaoud's developed the ball at the top, but he's had a lash at that red, missed it by a street. I think he almost fluked knocking the one in that was over the bottom right hand corner pocket, developed the red and yellow at the top, but Dave Fernandez now.
Oh, what an extraordinary frame. Both players have come out all guns blazing. Dave Fernandez has smashed that in at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
To be fair, I don't think Dave knows another way of playing. I've seen Dave quite a few times play down in Great Yarmouth at national finals, and by nature a very attacking player, very likeable player as well. Always likes to be in amongst the action when it comes to the social side. Ooh, he's had a kick there. He's just stopped dead, that cue ball. Just asking our referee Tanya Ahmed to clean it.
Well, he's had a bad contact, but it didn't really look to me like he keyed that. He seemed to be up, kind of, whereas he's keyed nicely through the others. He seemed to stab at that a bit. I don't know whether he was trying to land this. I mean, you'd have thought the obvious shot was to land high near where that red is.
Mm.
I can't believe he was trying to play past the black.
It looks like he's coming off the rail here, trying to look into the bottom left-hand corner pocket.
That was a strange shot. That didn't really look to be fraught with that much danger.
Well, it's not too bad, but I don't think he's taking the pocket. The red will go. So, second opportunity now for Jaoud to secure what would be an absolutely unbelievable team championship for Morocco.
In the circumstances, you might speculate that he'd be looking at some defensive options here, but judging by his first two contributions in this frame, that doesn't seem likely.
I don't think he's. I don't know whether it's in his nature to sort of like sit back, but probably just a little bit difficult with that yellow being so close to the pocket. He's trying to hide. If he tries to hide the cue ball, it could be quite easy if he gets in the wrong place for Dave to come off the rail and just flick it in. He doesn't really want to be leaving that opportunity. Well, he's tried the pot. Either Dave Fernandez can see this. He's asking for the total snooker. The referee. You see there, pretty sure. Not sure actually.
Well, he's looking at coming off this side. You would have thought, like you thought, he could probably play with some right hand side and just flick it in off the cushion. Come to the right of it.
Just looks like it's a little bit too far over for that, maybe, Mark.
Yeah.
So he's just looking to just drop on this. Well, I was going to say dead weight, but that's a superb shot. Absolute fantastic shot. That's probably about as well as Dave could do there. because he has now taken that pocket. The red won't go past it.
Yeah, that's really changed the complexion of this frame now.
I just wonder now whether we're going to see an attack option, because now that ball's over the pocket, Joe's got to find something really special here. And I just think he might not have an option other than an attack, and he's going to have to play something fairly extravagant. No, he hasn't, but he's just tried to cover the double, but I don't think he's not covered that. He's just looking, does the black go bottom right hand side, bottom right hand corner pocket?
Yeah, it's a pretty easy hit, and it's a high probability that he'll pot the yellow if he hits it right. As you say, it's just a question of where does the white go afterwards.
The danger is he catches it thin. I think again he's just asking to see whether it's a total snooker.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to get position on the black. If it went bottom right, it would be much more straightforward. But
I think I'd like to see the shot of that.
just looking at where he might leave the white afterwards.
Just got to make sure he doesn't make too thin a contact here, and snooker himself behind the red. Oh, that just looks like what he's done. Another 2 rolls of that cue ball, and he's on the black.
The black wasn't may just have gone in off the jaw. It was
Yeah, I think
going to be tricky.
Yeah, I think he could have just played it dead weight at this left-hand knuckle and hoped that it would have dropped. But
You have to play off the side cushion and try and fluke it in the opposite pocket. Well, I say fluke it, he will be
yeah,
will be
that's the
trying
shot
to
he's
go
playing,
for that
yeah,
shot.
but it's not an orthodox shot by any means. You see now England looking on, they're concerned.
Yeah, the problem now, of course, he's opened that pocket up, so if he does miss this, it's going to be very hard to leave it
You
safe.
see Rob Warren's face thinking, oh, I'm glad it's not me out there.
No. Saw a shot of Lee Kendall there. It will be him out here if Dave finds a way of dispatching the black. England captain up next for Team England.
Surely he's got to be playing this shot shortly. The time's got to be moving on. Seems to have been on this shot like an awful long time now.
He does. This would not be a moment for a time foul.
30 seconds.
Well, he's hit it, but he's not covered the pocket. So now, this is a fantastic opportunity for Joe Tibet to become Moroccan national hero of 2014.
Wouldn't say he's exactly rushing to the table. He looks like a man that knows it's all there for him, but is a bit scared of what's about to happen.
No, I don't think so. I think he's just composing himself. I say he's another one of the players that's been over here and playing on the UK tour this year, and he will have learnt a lot from that. You know, he'll come up against all sorts of different players, different situations. Certainly not a situation like this, but it will have given him some experience of playing, I'll say, the English game, if you like, but World 8 Ball Federation rules on a regular basis and on a competitive basis.
Well, I was going to say, it's not just the English game, it's the English players, of whom there are a lot of very good ones who will have taught him the hard way that if he doesn't clear up first time, he doesn't get a second time.
Yeah.
I mean, these are placed perfectly. There's no need to be moving the cue ball around too much.
Oh, nice shot there. He can just stun this up the table now. Just wants to go a little high, just to leave himself a natural angle to drift down with the cue ball for that black bottom left.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The red's so easy. The only thing is just making sure he doesn't leave himself a twitchy black.
Oh, he's just gone a little bit far with that, but he's okay. But he'd probably like to have seen that stop 3 or 4 inches shorter.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to leave himself a proper championship black here, isn't he? There's going to be nothing easy about this. Oh, he's played it.
It's there.
Played it
That's
nicely. He's played it
absolutely
slow.
perfect. Just a little look to the sky. The most important shot of this young man's life to date. And down it goes, and Morocco are the 2014 Men's Team Championship winners, defeating the reigning champions England by 8 frames to 4. Absolutely unbelievable performance. The attack throughout the final, the handshakes are coming round, the celebrations have started. Absolutely unbelievable performance. The Moroccans have invaded the arena. They've gone over to the England team. I'm here, there, so excited. Absolutely brilliant performance. And this will send shockwaves through the world of 8-ball pool. Ashraf there, he's the team liaison. And they've celebrated. Steve Dakin in the arena there. He can't hear himself think.
Try and have a word with the team captain if I can. And that's it from us.